Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, the 16th of February. This is Flat Cap Callum. I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, today we've got a busy day. We've got a full deck of bets, so a £20 stake. It was borderline to be a bit more. I've whittled it down. I'm happy with where we've got to. So we've got 3 each way lucky 15s today. That is our bets coming up. We've also got the golf, so there is a bit of golf at the weekend. There's no European tournament, but I've had a little look at the seniors tour as well. So I've gone rogue, and we've got the USPGA tour and the seniors tour combined. So we've got those coming up as well. Before we get to the bets, before we get to the golf, we'll do a review of yesterday. So yesterday we made a tiny profit. So I made it £20 on £20, 13 pence back. So a 13 pence profit. Woohoo! Yes, that's what everybody wanted yesterday. So quick rundown. We had our first each way lucky 15, which was a combo of Lingfield and Ayr. And generally some poor results. Now we had a couple pull up. We did have Jesse Mack ran a cracking race into second, 14-1. So that was a nice each way place. But a bit like the day before, it was the biggest price in the bet, but it was on its own as a single. So, got a little bit back, but not a lot. Then we did an each way Trixie. The each way Trixies I do are generally my higher risk horses. So if they're in a lucky 15, that means I've got a better level of confidence. If they're in a Trixie, that tends to be higher level, kind of higher risk, I would say. None of those placed, so we got nothing back for that. And then the Newcastle lucky 15 was a decent one. Hackbury only just lost out in the end. It was ahead. We only had it on 5-1 on the channel. For those of you who are out there took SP or best price guaranteed, you'd have got 15-2. So hopefully some of you did, much better price. We then had Sashovalan 10-1. Got best price guaranteed because Sky Bet were only playing 2 places. So excellent win. So we were all set up. Tell them now didn't run well, but then fortunately Bronze River did. We had it 11-1 on the channel. It was 15-2 SP. So we had a nice a win within there. So you get double the win odds if it's on Sky Bet for your lucky 15, and an each way treble. So I made that a 19-18 return. So overall, as I said, 13 pence profit. It's not a lot of profit clearly. And it doesn't make up for the fact the day before we lost over 15 quid. But profit is profit. As I always say, it's every day you make profit is every day the bookmakers haven't got your money. So that was yesterday's results. Today, it was a really nice race today, some really good handicaps. And I focused my energy for the channel on there. There are other things I was looking at. There was other bets I could have put on, and it would have just about made a stake and a half. But I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't convinced. So what I'm saying to you is I'm giving you my best 3 bets, and I've focused the energy today on all of the handicaps. So across all meetings, there's some decent handicaps paying extra place on Sky Bet. So every single race we've got today on the channel is paying extra places on Sky Bet. So as far as this channel goes, there is no best price guarantee. The prices I've got here are the prices I've got. That's it. So, and I guess a reminder really, and some of you have heard this before, I believe that it's a 3-pronged philosophy in terms of how to pick a horse, okay? Number 1 is looking everything in the form, whether, that's course form, jockey form, trainer form, pedigree form, whatever it might be. That tells you what are the chances of the horse running well in that specific race. Second thing you do is you compare it to all the other horses, and that tells you the chance of that horse winning. So you now know how is it going to go around well and what's its chances of winning. The value comes from looking at the odds. And that's how we work out. So everything I've got on today is my best value bets. They are not the horses that I think are the most likely to win the races. They're the ones that I think are the best value in the market. Because that's the way that I believe you make profit with horse racing. Not finding the winner specifically. And clearly if they all won, that would be great. But don't focus energy on winning. Focus energy on value, and that's how you get your return. Okay, bet 1. It's Dundalk. Now, health warning, as there always is on this channel. The jumps racing at the moment is I'm not feeling it in terms of I'm not getting the return on investment on there. Dundalk, Southall, Newcastle, all weather tracks. They're the 3 that I'm doing well on. So I'm not saying lump on this and go crazy, But Dundalk has treated me well. I love Dundalk racing. It's really competitive. You can easily have days where you get nothing back, but there's always some nice prices to find. So bet one is our Dundalk special, as I call it on this channel, because whenever Dundalk's on, I always try and find 4 to go in the lucky 15. I've got 4 I like, double figures, happy with that. So the 110 Matilda with me, 10s, 145 Al Dente. It's already been nibbled in, and I do think that will probably end up single figures, is my hunch. But we got it at 10 this morning when I put the bet on. 220, that's the one that's paying 5 places. We've got Koi Big 16 to 1, and then 435 Eleuthera 18 to 1, the bigger price, and it's probably the most risky. So in value terms, there's not much between these, I would say. 20p each way, lucky 15, and then the 2 circles there, we've got additional 30p each way singles on both, and a 40p each way double on both. So the energy of the bet there is going to the middle 2. So they're the ones that I think are the best value, as I would put it. So £8 you bet on bet 1 for Dundalk. Okay, then the next 2 bets have predominantly one course with a rogue Hereford bet. So bet 2 is 3 at Kempton, 1 at Hereford. So we've got the 120 Hereford paying 4 places, Jolly or Jolie Maker 9 to 2. It's a small price, but I mean the form wise says it runs very consistently, so I'll put it in. Then you'll note the next one, 5:30 Kempton, is our big price for today. Ermine's Dotty, whatever you might want to call it. I really think that price is way too big. And as I said, the higher risk courses I would tend to put them in a Trixie. So I'm not saying that it's guaranteed to place. I'm saying there's a ton of value. If you actually look at the races it's running on its handicap debut. It's got form in the family. I think 66 is overpriced. It could well just run a little bit down the field, but definitely for me it's worth having a go in the context of these bets. At 66s, I think that's far too big. Then we've got 6 o'clock Kempton assembled. I was between 2, being honest, and I've gone for the one that I'm slightly more confident with and a slightly bigger price. So we've got assembled 18 to 1. Not saying it's going to win, but I like the price. 18 to 1, it's in there. And then 6:30 Kempton, perfect focus. I would probably say of those 4, that's the one that I'm least confident with. I'll say that, and I'm being honest, but you never know. That could be the one that actually wins and the other ones don't. So it's a really high value in terms of return on investment. So if you get a couple of winners out of this bet or a few places, we'll be laughing for the day. But clearly the betting market says we won't. So 20p each way straight, lucky 15 on bet 2. And then bet 3, we've got 1 Hereford, 3 Wetherby. So as I said, there is a health warning. My jumps picking at the moment isn't as good as the all weather, but we're still going for it anyway. So these are, again, all races where Sky Bet are paying extra places. I know a lot of other bookmakers are, so have a look around. For this channel, this is what we've got for Sky Bet. So 3:15, Wetherby paying 5 places, Mr. Scrumpy. It's a really competitive race. That's the one I think is the best value. But there's a lot in there that could win. 350 Wetherby, Azorf Dermot. It's come in a little bit in the betting, but I'm still happy with 11 to 2 for the purposes of the lucky 15. 410 Hereford paying 5 places. Nickels on the dime. We'll go nickels on the dime. 10 to 1. And then 422 Wetherby, Jamil 17 to 2. So that's 20p each way, lucky 15. That is our third bet. So we are all about handicaps and lucky 15 each ways today. That's what we've got. Okay, now, if you want the golf, stay on the line. If you're not bothered about the golf, please leave now. So with the golf, those of you who've been following the last few weeks will know we're on a nice run. So we had an 80 to 1 winner a few weeks ago. We then had a dot week, and then last weekend we had a 90 to 1 and 125 to 1 place. So we're in a good place for the golf. Just because that's happened the last few weeks doesn't mean I'm some sort of genius picking golf ins. It can all go wrong very easily. But this is what I've got for you today. So the last few weeks we've done a £10 bet. We're only going £8. So £8. So it's a 40% of our normal daily stake for this bet. So the Genesis Invitational, and bear in mind, as I always say with these golf bets, you will probably find better places and better prices with other bookmakers. But for Sky Bet, this is what I'm taking. I'm happy with those. So if you find anything bigger than that, feel free to take those. This is doesn't have to be put through Sky Bet. It's just because the horses I put through there to keep it consistent. We put the golf through there. So Sky Bet Genesis Invitational, 5th of the odds, 8 places. We've got 4 against the field. Max Homer won it last year. He's in good form. It felt like a fairly solid 40-1 in there. Then Taylor Gooch, definitely seen bigger prices for Taylor Gooch. That's the one that I think the most value in. And then Kevin Na, 66ers. He's got great form on this course. I say great form. 3 times he's been in the top 5, and pretty much every other time he missed the cut. So if he's on a good year, he'll do well, and if he's not, he won't. And then the big price we've gone for Carlos Ortiz. Some of you be watching the golf last weekend knew he hit a hole in one and got hit by a beer can. It was a bit mad. Feel free to watch that on YouTube. The 16th hole at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. It's a great watch. Carlos Ortiz hole in one. So they are 50p each ways on the 3, apart from Taylor Gooch. So that's 60 pence each way, Taylor Gooch. So that's the one I've got the most value on. And then Chubb Classic, so it's only quarter of the odds, 5 places, and they only pay 54 holes. So it starts on Friday. So the Genesis will be starting Thursday night, Irish time. In terms of over in America, it will be obviously earlier than that. So Chubb Classic doesn't start till Friday night. So we've got Kevin Sutherland 25-1 and Stephen Ames 40-1, which is the value one. So we've got 50 pence each way, Kevin Sutherland, 60 pence Stephen Ames. And just for the crack, we've gone 10p each way doubles, all 8. So all 8, there's 8 each way doubles on the 6. So it works out in combinations there. So that is £8 you bet for the golf. All right. That's what I've got for you. Just as a word, if anyone is waiting and wanting the next Cheltenham video on the handicaps, it will be next week. I'm waiting for the actual entries to come out because at the moment it's too much of a minefield really to really pick out what may run where. So I still think there'll be a ton of value next week. So the next Cheltenham video on handicaps will be out next week. All right, that is what I've got for you today. Good luck with your bets, good luck with my bets, and either way, I will see you in the morning. Thanks very much.